Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to KT Garage. This is part 38 of the Super Hawk build project. The weekend is here, I finally get to work on the project again. So the plan for today is, I'm gonna just go ahead and take the brake paddle back out and do the repair. I'm gonna move it over closer to the accelerator paddle so I get that whole area finalized. Then I'm going to work on the steering column. We'll take the steering wheel off, paint the column, and hopefully I can get the new steering wheel back on. I just want to get that whole area finished before I move on. And then towards the end of the day, if I have time, we'll go ahead and fix the handbrake. I showed you on the last episode that there's a column that's in the way. I got to find a way to take care of that. So hopefully I can get all that done today as well. We'll see how far I can push. I'll keep you guys posted throughout the day. Okay, so to get the brake pedal back out, there's a nut right there. Get that nut out, and then the bolt has to slide that way towards the firewall. And the way I designed it is like right next to the firewall, so it's a little difficult to get it out, but I will get it out. And then just disconnect it from the master cylinder, and I should be able to just get that paddle right out. Okay, so here's the paddle. There's a couple of things that I want to make some changes to it. So at first, this is not going towards the driver far enough. So when I step all the way down, I know my master cylinder hasn't been bled yet, but I hit the bottom of the firewall. So I know that bottoms out. So that's probably not good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to make a cut somewhere here and then rotate this a few degrees so it pushes it away from the firewall. I'm going to cut it off right here, get this straight, and then I'm going to weld this on this side, so I'm actually pushing this entire paddle towards this way, closer to the accelerator paddle. Well, the reason why I had to wear a mask was this paint right here, the military paint, it's specially formulated for chemical resistance, and these are pretty health hazards. So, you know, when you do grinding or any kind of work to this paint, you just want to make sure you wear a mask and then properly dispose the dust, because this could potentially cause cancer. So anyhow, this is what I did. I made a cut, and then I bent this a little bit. So now it's further away from the firewall. I'm gonna go in and fill this in with a bead of weld. I'm probably gonna weld all around to make it nice and strong, and then that'll be it. And then when this is nice and solid, I'm gonna start to make a cut here, and then we'll shift this whole paddle over this way. I put a really nice bead of weld all the way around, so it's nice and strong. So now again, I can go ahead and move this over. Okay, so I bent this straight. You can see that it used to be like way over. I bent it this way. So that's done. Now this piece right here, I cut a relief on this side. So it's gonna get welded like this. Let's see if we can show you a little bit better. It's gonna get welded like that, and then I'm just gonna fill all this in with welds, make sure it's nice and strong. Well, here we go, guys. Looking pretty solid. So now you can see that this is like 3 or 4 inches towards this way, so it's gonna look a lot better. I'm gonna go ahead and get this painted and wait for it to dry, and then we'll get back on. I test fit it in the cabin and it looked just perfect. So I hit it with a coat of self-edging primer. You can see it's still trying to dry. I'm gonna let it dry for a few hours. It takes probably a few hours just to dry, and then I'll get it back on. I ordered a rattle can of this color. It's called the NATO Green. When it comes in, I can just paint it with a rattle can in the cabin. It's not that big of a deal. But you can see that the self-edging primer color is like almost the same as the NATO Green, so it's not too bad. I just want to get this done today. So we'll come back in a few hours and get on the truck so you guys can see how it looks. I really like it. Okay, so first what you want to do is just to remove the horn assembly. And there's a little clip in here. And all you need to do is just like pry it out, and it should come right out. Just make sure you wear glasses for this because it might just pop out. And just like that, it came out. And you should be able to just lift this assembly up using a screwdriver. This thing is stuck on there pretty tight. So guys, this came out and it looked just like that. Now on your setup, it might not froze like mine. These have just been there for a long time, and this steering wheel already cracked, so I didn't care. I'm gonna replace the steering wheel anyway. So it takes a little bit of force to get these out. So now in here there's a nut that you can remove. I'm gonna go ahead and get a socket and back this nut out. So it takes a 24mm socket to remove this nut, and all you need is just back it out. Now I prefer to use the impact tool to make it easy to remove. I'll go ahead and get that done. And just like that, nut came out. Now, this is pulled in when this nut is assembled, so it's going to be extremely hard for you to get it out. You're going to need some a tool to pull the steering wheel out. I'm going to go get a tool that I use for several projects and see if it will fit in here. Okay, so you're going to need some kind of puller kit to pull the steering wheel out. I have 2 different kits that I bought. You know, just in case one doesn't work, I can use the other one. Now, I looked through the bolt option here. This is a smaller kit, so it doesn't have the ones I needed. I tried one of these, and it did fit into here. So I can use this, but these slots are not close enough to fit the bolt through. So I'm going to use both the kit to make it work. So I'm going to use these and these bolts to make it work. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get this on there. Okay. back this out. Well guys, these this washers is like a little bit bigger than what goes on there. It's like extremely tight, so I'm gonna have to see if I can just use a smaller washer from the other kit. Yeah, not ideal, but I think this might work. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna go find that other small washer. Yeah, the normal steering wheels are not this little, so you gotta have to bear with it. Okay. Want to make sure I get this on real good. Yeah, so it looks like it's gonna work. I'm gonna see if I can turn this. I have no idea what size this is. Oh, it's a 15 millimeter. Let's try the 16 millimeter. Okay, so 16 millimeter will turn this. Yeah, you can see that it ate through my washer already, so I'm gonna have to back this out and put a bigger washer on it. All right, so let's try this again. I put like 2 or 3 washers, stack them just so it doesn't get squeezed through this big slot, because these are universal kit. I'm gonna try it again and see if I can get this thing out. It's starting to be a pain to remove these. Oh yeah, it moved. Great. Well guys, just help to spray a little WD-40 on there too. I just spray some WD-40 on there, and yeah, came out just like that. Not too bad. All right, so now I got to deal with removing these. So now that I have the steering wheel off this column, I can go ahead and get rid of some of the rust on here, repaint it, and then we'll get on the truck. Okay, so I reinstall the paddle and torque everything back up so everything is good to go again. And check this out, guys. It is looking so much better. These two paddles are closer to each other. And then this used to be like all the way over here. It moved over, I think around 4 inches or something like that. So that's looking so much better. I'm gonna go ahead and put the steering column back and then get this all secured so this whole area is done. Well, I decided to paint this black because the steering wheel is black, and I did it on purpose. I wanted to have a contrast of NATO green and some black to make it look good. So these are actually truck bed coating. Just spray a thick coat of it on there. I'm going to go ahead and get this back in the truck. Okay, Okay, so I got the steering column in. It's super easy to get them in. It's just like this straight bolt that you bolt it through, and put a nut on it and tighten it. And then there's a bolt here, and then another bolt on the other side, and torque that up, and that's it. And then the linkage is below. You can see how it's hooked up, and then you can see that I also put a bolt and a nut in there and secure that. So the entire steering system is installed. So at this point, I can go ahead and get the steering wheel installed. Okay, so to get a steering wheel back, you have to go through all this tooth. Now, there's only one way that'll go in. And if you look around, there's a spot where it has like a missing tooth right here. So you're gonna have to line this one up with the one on the steering wheel for the steering wheel to go in. So there's only one location where you can do this. You try any other way, it's not gonna fit. Okay, so after you lined up the tongue and groove, you push it in and it should come right in. I'm gonna go ahead and put this nut back. Then we use the same power tool to get it back on. Let's see. Guys, I think it went all the way in. So we're good. So now we have full steering. Well guys, I went ahead and bought a new horn button. My other one doesn't look so good. It's just replaced with this. Got this one from eBay for, I think it's like $50 something. Worth the money. It's looking really good. So you just like push it in, and it just comes right in like that. And then you snap this on, and then it's complete. Well, here we go, guys. Steering wheel's done. Everything's working properly. Doesn't take too long at all to swap steering wheel. Super easy. So here we go, guys. This is what you're seeing under. Super cool. So this is the accelerator paddle. That's the brake. And it goes like, it doesn't hit the firewall anymore when I max it out, which is great. Everything working fine. There's a little piece down here that I'm gonna cut out. You see that the accelerator paddle has this thing that I bend it down. I'm just gonna completely cut it off. That's just attaching to another linkage that allow you to like force the gas paddle down to keep the RPM higher. The military use it for something I'm not sure what it is, but I'm not gonna need it, so I'm just gonna cut it off and make it nice and clean in there. I'm gonna do that another day. Well guys, I have a bunch of errands to run today, so that's all I can get done for today. I'm gonna get up in the morning. Today there should be a full day tomorrow for me to work on the truck, so hopefully I get a lot more done tomorrow. I appreciate you guys tuning in to KT Garage. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. Thank you.